Well, for the second week, mate, we are kicking off with our Ladbrokes segment of the show. This week, we're bringing you what would your dream stable be out of a selection of horses that we put our two minds together, our two noggins, and we selected this group of horses. So I'll try and, if I can figure it out, I'll try and put it in the visual of this, but it also might be a tile on Instagram or within the visual. You'll see it eventually. But so build your dream stable for $7. Now that is obviously a massive markdown. These are like Crazy Clark's prices right now.
Build your dream stable with pocket change.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even get you a schooner of gold, some expensive venues in the valley.
Absolutely not. But there's 4 different price brackets. So you have a $4 row, a $3 row, a $2 row, and a $1 row. And there's 4 horses on each. So on the $4 row, we have Very Elegant, Star, Nature Strip, top of the heap. Mm-hmm. You have Colding, good boy.
Always tries.
And Probabil, the best miler in the land. Mm-hmm. $3 line, we have the up-and-comer Zaki. We have Mugger 2, won an All-Star Mile.
Good horse.
Hungry Heart, who's probably proved to be the best 3-year-old that we have. And we have Masked Crusader. On the $2 line, we have Animo, Stay Inside, Salino, which might be a bit of value, and September Run. And on the $1 line, we have Ingratiating, who's just honest, Toffee Tongue, Colette, and Zutori. So, for the Ladbrokes special interest segment this week, so you can read this on the Ladbrokes blog, which we'll put in the show notes, and it will be our link in bio on Instagram as well. But this week, mate, I'd like you to kick off. How are you going to build your stable with this $7?
Tough to pick just a trio out of these because we are limited to 3 horses. But the way I sort of saw it was, let's try and get maximum value with this. So in the $2 line is Animo. Mm-hmm. And I think he is an absolute steal for $2. I made a prediction on the podcast a few weeks ago now when we were talking spring headlines as our special interest section.
Yes.
And I prophesized that Animo could emulate Yes, Yes, Yes's spring campaign as a 3-year-old, culminating in an Everest victory, which would be absolutely outstanding.
That'd be Nostradamus sort of stuff.
Yeah, wouldn't it just? That could be the platform that we need to really go places, mate.
Making a one-off prediction weeks ago on a Thursday night.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So he's a cracking colt. He's placed in the Blue Diamond. He placed in the Golden Slipper and destroyed them in the size produce. So he's a consistent horse. He gets back a bit, but I think he's versatile enough to sit middle of the pack, midfield, and his turn of foot is just something that you can't teach in a horse. It's just absolutely unreal. So $2, Animo.
Done. I might take my first one. So I've gone for the new hot thing. I've gone Zaki at $3.
Jeez, that was such a good win in the Doomben Cup.
It was. Now, you might argue who'd he beat, but he did beat the Cox Plate winner by about 10 lengths and the rest of them by about 8. So he's a pretty smart animal, I think. And to be honest, every single run he's had here has been outstanding. He was 100 to 1 in that Doncaster where he finished 5th or something. We mentioned him on the podcast because we had no idea what he was. And but anyway, he's proved to be a very, very good horse. I think he still has to prove it against the best, but I've got a feeling in my waters that this could be the new Very Elegant versus Dabe.
As in VE versus Zaki.
Yes. So I think this could be the next heavyweight battle at weight for age that we want in this country.
Yeah. Would love to see them racing against each other over 2000 or 24.
Well, they're going for the Cox Plate, both of them. So that will be a hell of a race this year. And if the Japanese come over, which is a big if, that would be huge. Anyway.
So $3 for Zaki. Well, I'm going to go to the top row and spend $4. I'm splashing the cash because it's well worth it for this superstar. Very Elegant. Just a great, great horse. She gives you 100% every time she runs. She was a little bit of a naughty schoolgirl when she was younger, you know. She was She played up a little bit in the races, but Chris Wallace figured her out, and actually in the Queen Elizabeth was the first time in a long time I saw her over race a little bit. Still managed to run second to a Dabe, who is one of the best horses in the world. She can do it on a wet track. She can do it on a dry track, 1,600, 2,400 metres. She's got heaps of Group 1s, heading towards the Cox Plate. Would love to have her in my stable, mate.
That's $4 well spent.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'd buy it for $4. Yeah. So, no, she's a brilliant horse. My second one, I've gone for the sprinters because I would love to win at Everest, and this bloke already has a slot. $3, Masked Crusader. I think he's probably, if he's not in the top 3, he'd definitely be in the conversation of best sprinters in the land. Nature Strip is still the most elite, but now with Bivouac retiring, I think there is a bit of a lack of depth at the very tippy top of our sprinting rankings. And he won a William Reed. That was an unbelievable run. Squeezed out, won by 2 lengths. And then he was nowhere in the TJ, and then he ran a really nice second. So, yeah, as I said, Sloan the Everest, get a run for my money at $3. I'd happily have him in my stable.
Man, I cannot begrudge that whatsoever. So I've spent $2 on Animo, $4 on Very Elegant, so I've got $1 left. So I've got to take a pick from the bottom row. I'm going to go with Heart overhead a little bit, I think, and I'm going to go with another Waller-trained mare, 4-year-old Toffee Tongue. So I've got a soft spot for this girl. I backed her in the Australasian Oaks when she won as a 3-year-old. That was her maiden victory coming into Group 1. She's only won once since then. That was in a Group 3. But she's a horse who's generally going to be racing in Group 1s, and you'll tend to find her at a pretty good price. Backed her each way in the Doomben Cup where she ran second, but there was daylight between her and Zaki, but she was at a good price. So I think she's a good one to have if you want a little bit of a roughie who's still going to be in the G1s and can cheer her home. Plus, I'm just a massive sucker for those silks, mate. The red and white stripes, my favourite silks.
Speaking of Planet Bronc v the Dragons, the Drift Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
You might say.
That is the Drift Bowl, yeah, or the Drift Shield maybe they're playing for tonight, or maybe the Wooden Spoon Bowl. Yeah, we'll see how they go tonight. The Dragons, they were useless last week against the Tigers, so if they improve from that, I'll be a happy man. But that's my $7, mate. I've got Toffee Tongue, Very Elegant, and Animo.
Well, I also only have $1 left, and I had Ingratiating, Toffee Tongue, Colette, or Zutori to choose from, all at a brilliant price, I might add. But I've gone for the best wet tracker on this list, Colette. I made some pretty outlandish statements about her throughout this season of the podcast, saying that she'd probably knock off the Queen Elizabeth if it was wet. Well, she didn't. But I think I have a feeling they're going to target her towards mile races from now on, because she won the Golden Eagle on an absolutely bottomless track. But they were also saying early in the prep this year that she's being targeted to a Sydney Cup, which
sounds weird now in retrospect, yeah.
It just it doesn't really make sense. And I think my gut feel with like James Cummings, and obviously he would know the horse better than us, but he's also said he's a bit unsure of what her best distance is. But she's proven she beat Very Elegant and Colding Home first up, which she ticked that box, which she hasn't previously been able to do. I reckon she's actually a bit more affected over the shorter trips. Not saying that she can't actually win at the longer trips, but yeah, if it's a heavy deck, it's an even bigger tick. So I'd be happy to watch her go around for me.
Good pick, mate. I like Colette as well. And if it was a heavy track, she's hard to beat. So I think we've done pretty well, mate. Different horses for both of us.
Yeah, which is very unlike us. We usually double over all the time. But punters, if you want to give it a go, we're going to put it up on our Instagram. Comment below in the comments. How would you spend your $7? But yeah, thanks to Ladbrokes for letting us write this article this week.